Good day to all. Welcome to the lecture series for the electric fields. So this is the second part of the electrostatics 1 in the unit 1. So the electric field we have covered in previous lecture the Coulomb's law and the definition of the electric field. So in this unit we are going from this video onwards we are going to see about the electric fields due to the continuous charge distributions. The continuous charge distributions may be defined as the line charge density, surface charge density and volume charge density. Normally the Coulomb's law, which states that the charge force between two charges and the electric field is going to be defined as the force between the test charge and the electric test charge and the charge for which we are going to find out the electric field. So in these definitions we just seen that the charges are point charges. Point charge means it is a the cluster of charges which are stored in the head of the pin. So point charge is also it can be called as a charge density, but we in the literatures we had defined the point charge as a single charge which has the value of q. But in this continuous charge distributions, the charges are distributed into a particular given entity. It can be a line, it can be a surface, or it can be a charge volume. So the line charge density is going to be called as rho L, rho S, and rho V for surface and volume charges. So the charge which is insisted by the line charge density and the surface charge density or volume charge density can be found out by the surface area of those charges. So for a line charge we can only take the line differential length of that particular line and differential surface for the surface charge density and the differential volume for the volume charge density, so that we can find out the charge value which is equal to integration of rho L into dl. So whatever may be the differential length we are defining for that particular charge distribution, we can define the integration over the limit of that particular charge density. So particular line segment, or we can define the surface charge density as surface charge as q is equal to surface integration of rho s into ds, and q is equal to volume integration of rho v dv. So we can write the electric field equation from these charge values. So as we know, electric charge is the electric field intensity is E vector is equal to q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r square. So here if I replace this q by these values whichever may be applicable, so we can define the electric field as rho L dl divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r square ar cap. This is the unit vector which is acting along the direction of this electric field. So for the surface charge we can define E vector is equal to rho s ds divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r square, and for the volume charge density E vector is equal to root of rho v dv divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r square. So now we can go for the derivation of electric field intensity due to the line charge. So in this derivation we are going to derive electric field intensity due to the line charge, which is given here as AB. So the electric field can be defined for this line charge density at the point P, which is situated from the line charge density to the R distance. So this is the P point. So this is situated at the distance of R. So this line charge density is going to be defined by a line charge segment, that is line segment, that is called as DL. So this DL has been situated at the point of 0, 0, Z dash. And we can define some of the parameters for this particular point. So if we draw some line segments from the two ends of the line charge distribution, so we can draw these two lines, and also we can draw a perpendicular projection to the Z axis. So we can define the various angles for finding out the charge distribution and the electric field intensity. So this is going to be used for the calculation purpose, and you can just visualize that charge distribution has been distributed along the only Z axis. It has not gone for any of the axes. So the symmetricity of this particular charge distribution will be giving only two components of the particular charge, particular electric field intensity. How we are saying means, since this charge distribution is distributed along the Z axis, we are going to find out the electric field intensity with the help of cylindrical coordinate system. So the cylindrical coordinate system, if you assume a cylinder over this particular charge distribution, then the electric field intensity is going to be found along this particular R line, because this is the vector line which is going to connect our charge distribution to the point P. So if you find this particular vector path, then it will be going along this particular direction, and you can componentize that the particular component called as DE rho, and another component can be DE Z by the law of parallelogram. So if you segregate this particular DE vector into this two, then you will only have these two components of the electric field intensity due to this particular line charge distribution. So the dq is going to be defined as rho L dl vector. So since this dl vector is situated along the z axis, then you will be having the rho L dz as a dq parameter. So now if you want to find out the value of q, integration of za means this point, zb means this point, so za to zb, integration of rho L into dz. So electric field intensity due to line charge density rho L can be found from the equation E vector is equal to integration of, that is the line integration of rho L dl divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r square AR cap. So this AR cap is going to situated along this particular R vector. That's why we are saying this is a AR cap. We need to convert these terms in the above equations as the parameters, that is this dl vector parameter have to be converted into z and the other cylindrical coordinate system parameters. So we need to convert this dl is the dz dash, because this particular dl is situated as 0 comma 0 comma z dash, not in the z, so it is in the z dash. So we are going to substitute this dl is equal to dl dash dz dash. So what is r? R is a particular distance vector from the point 0 comma 0 comma z dash to from the point to the point p x comma y comma z. So if you want to find out the distance vector, then we can subtract this point, that is 0 comma 0 comma z dash from the point x comma y comma z. So we can find that x comma y comma z minus 0 comma 0 comma z dash. So if you calculate this particular subtraction, then we will be getting this particular vector. So x ax cap plus y into ay cap plus z minus z dash az cap. So this vector is defined in the Cartesian coordinate system, but if you want to convert this particular into cylindrical coordinate system, then we will be having the conversion parameters as rho is equal to root of x square plus y square and z is equal to z minus z dash. So if you want to substitute this particular things in the particular vector, then we can write this, that r vector is equal to root of x square plus y square plus z minus z dash. So from this equation itself we can write this particular equation. Now you just see this is the x square plus y square, so we can write the x square plus y square root of means we can write this as a rho. Now this particular term is inside the root, so we can write this two terms along as rho square plus z minus z dash the whole square. So you can take the root. So we can write from this particular r magnitude of the r vector, we can write the r vector as rho into a rho cap plus z minus z dash az cap. So if it is going to be in this particular vector format, then only we can write this r magnitude. So we can write reversely also. So I have written from this particular manner. Now notice that ar cap is equal to ar vector divided by magnitude of ar vector. So if we know the r vector, we have written divided by the ar vector magnitude, so we can write like this. So if you want to substitute this ar cap divided by r square, then we have to find out what is ar cap divided by r square. So if you want to find out, then just multiply the 1 divided by r square to this equation. So if you want to substitute, means the r is equal to root of rho square plus z minus z dash whole square. So this is the root term, and here it is a root term is available, so we can write. So and also the r square term is also available. So if you want to find out, then the root term of this particular term, that is root of rho square plus z minus z dash the whole square term will be there, and another term is the same term but without root. So if you want to multiply these two terms, then what we will be getting? So this is actually the term of power 1 by 2, and this is the term of power 1. So if you want to multiply these two values, then our powers can be added. So the power, if the powers can be added, then our power is going to be 3 by 2. So that's why this term has come as rho square plus z minus z dash whole square power 3 by 2. So if you want to find out, you can also write that this term as r that is this term as r cube. How? Because this particular term power 1 by 2 means that is going to equal to r. So it is multiplying with the 3. It is actually powered with the 3, so we can write this as a r cube. Okay, so substituting the 3 and 4 equation in the equation number 2, then we will be getting this particular equation. So in order to simplify this particular integration, we cannot solve this particular integration which is in the equation number 5 as directly. So we need to convert these particular terms into the angles whichever we had given here. So how to find out this particular parameters in terms of the angular parameters whichever we are given in the diagram means we can find out that what is cos alpha. Cos alpha is, so this is the angle alpha. So what is cos alpha? Cos alpha is adjacent side by hypotenuse. Adjacent side is z minus z dash. Sorry, this particular length. So this length is called as rho because that is cylindrical term. So we can write that it is r divided by, sorry, rho divided by hypotenuse is r. So this particular distance is rho and hypotenuse is r. So we can write cos alpha as rho by r. Secant alpha is reciprocal of this particular term. So r by rho. So what is r? You can write as like rho into secant alpha. What is sin alpha? Sin alpha is opposite by hypotenuse. So what is opposite? This is the opposite distance. So we can write z minus z dash divided by r. So sin alpha is z minus z dash divided by r. What is tan alpha? It is sin alpha divided by cos alpha. So we can write z minus z dash divided by rho. So if you cross multiply this, z minus z dash is equal to rho into tan alpha. So you can rearrange this equation as z dash is equal to z minus rho into tan alpha. If you differentiate, dz dash is equal to since this is being differentiated with the with respect to the z dash, so we have to take this z as a constant term, so it is going to be 0. So minus rho into tan alpha has been differentiated as secant squared alpha d alpha. So if you substitute the values whichever we have found from this equation, we can substitute dz dash as minus rho into secant alpha. So also we can convert this term. So rho by this particular term, if you want to convert this, this is r power 3 will be coming here. Since we can write this equation as like this: rho into a rho cap plus z minus z dash, sorry, rho into a rho cap plus z minus z dash a z cap divided by r cube we can write. So from this r cube you just take an r to this particular equation, so we can write this as square if you write this as a square, then we can write r here, also r here. So if you write like this, then you can write the same equation as here. So what is rho by r? It is going to be cos alpha. What is z minus z dash? It is going to be r, then sin alpha divided by r square is going to be rho into secant square, rho square into secant square alpha. So also you can know what is dz dash, so we can substitute these values, then our equation will be coming like this. Now you just strike out the relevant terms. So rho square will be cutted out, so one row will be here, secant square are cutted out, so we will be getting this particular equation. So if you want to integrate from the for the d alpha, then we will be integrating from alpha 1 to alpha 2. Why we are going to integrate? Because if this particular line charge is going to be extended towards the positive infinity and towards the negative infinity, means these two angles are going to vary. So we have to make the limits depending upon these two values, that is the alpha 2, alpha 1 and the alpha 2 values, so that we have given limits alpha 1 to alpha 2. So if you integrate, cos alpha has been integrated as minus sin alpha, so minus sin alpha 2 minus sin alpha 1. So since this is having the minus, so it will be converted into plus. And if you integrate this sin alpha, then we will be getting cos alpha as the answer. So if you apply the limits, then cos alpha 2 minus cos alpha 1 will be coming. So this is the answer for the electric field intensity due to the line charge for a given finite line charge. If you want to find out for the infinite line charge, then the B point will be going to the 0 comma 0 comma infinity, and A point is going to for the 0 comma 0 comma minus infinity, so that the alpha 1 can be plus pi by 2 and alpha 2 can be minus pi by 2. If you substitute these two values, and if you see, then this answer will be coming as 2. Why? Because sin pi by 2 is 1. Here also sin pi by 2 is going to be 1. What is cos pi by 2? Cos pi by 2 is 0. So this term is going to be called as 0. So here the term will be coming as